Hello and welcome to another episode of Joys of the Junk Era. I want to follow up with a part two of the haul I took in from Craigslist. I did a part one that focused on all of the bizarre non-baseball card memorabilia I got, including some old tickets from the National, some uncut promotional cards, a bunch of random like hockey cards and stuff like that. And so I finished going through the baseball cards, and there's like really interesting stuff in there. And I just wanted to show you guys what I found. Most of the cards were as promised. He basically told me this was like mostly commons. It was basically tops, Donruss, and Upper Deck commons from the 80s and 90s, and back into the 70s. There was an almost complete 1978 top set. There was a complete 89 Upper Deck set. So I guess the 89 Griffey is in there. I haven't even opened it. A 90 complete Upper Deck set, 88 score complete set, 88 tops complete set, 87 tops complete set, and then the 87 and 88 traded. Then I think I'm going to devote another video to these because they're so weird and interesting. These like mostly Fleer, like Kmart cards, Toys R Us cards, stuff like that. But those are really fun to look at. This guy was clearly a Mets guy. He has the 87 tops team set. It looks like here, and then a bunch of other like Mets cards. I could spend all day showing this stuff off, but I just like pulled out cards that I thought were like, I pulled out the Hall of Famers and All Stars from the top stuff, and mixed them in with a bunch of other cards that I thought were cool or interesting. So like this was characteristic, like all of these tops Cal Ripkens. I honestly, that's probably an accident. So Barry Bonds rookie, Nolan Ryan, Ozzie Smith, Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds. I pulled out the Tony Peñas, all of the, all-star cards. And then like, I just thought this was like, how many of these he had was crazy. This is, again, goes to my sort of fascination with how people collected their baseball cards. He must have just opened boxes of these. So we had a bunch of Matt Williams. These are all sort of the, like, my favorite players from this period. I thought these cards were really nice. These tops all-stars that are just super clean looking, minimal border, minimal styling. Nothing's cutting across here with the name or the team logo or something. Just super matter of fact, nice photography, and the name of the player in very small print in the lower left. This is what you want if you want to see a picture of a baseball player. This is like as close, in my view, that Topps came to what Stadium Club, I mean Topps is Stadium Club, but just the typical Topps line came to in terms of giving you a like clean looking baseball card. So Roger Clemens, Don Mattingly, Cal Ripken, Jose Canseco, Kirby Puckett. I mean, it's like basically all the stars from this. McGuire, Billy McGee. This is like a card that I just love, this Gary Sheffield Future Star. I love basically everything about it. I love his expression. I love the just general design of the 89 tops. I love the font of this Future Star. It's intended to look futuristic, and it probably did back in the 80s. It's just, it's a clean card. It's in nice, good shape. This I found in there. This is like, this guy's, when he's a kid trying to like make his own Gary Carter Mets card, but then he realized he didn't know how to draw a picture of Gary Carter, I presume. I don't know. But I thought it was just sort of like a sweet little sentimental addition to the haul. I mean, it's like I think everyone probably watching this video right now remembers doing stuff like this. So this was just as fun to have and look at as any of these other cards. McGuire Cup, 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 McGuire Cup. So I could do that all day. Let's see what else. Some of these older cards were really cool for me to see. I'm less familiar with the 70s Topps stuff. So I pulled out some. He had a lot of really nice like cutout cards. Like this is Drake's Cakes, Mattingly, Drake's Cakes, Boggs, and these are like cut out. They're like I think they're all cut out. They're really poorly. I mean, like you can see in the bottom corner here, it's like just totally jagged. Cap and Crunch, Roger Clemens. We've got a really crazily off-center Jim Rice. Mike Schmidt, 82 Donruss. This awesome Bob Gibson Kellogg's Corn Flakes hologram card. Wade Boggs. Another cutout, Dave Concepcion. Gaylord Perry. This card I just like thought was hilarious. Could anyone possibly say this was a baseball player as opposed to like a 70s porno actor or some kind of like buddy cop, half of a buddy cop duo? It's pitcher Steve Trout. It's one of these stickers from 1982, but there's absolutely nothing about this card that identifies him as a baseball player. He's like leaning dramatically against the wall and wearing these ridiculous shades. So I don't know what the idea behind that was. This 83 highlight bench Yastrzemski Perry card. Some just really cool stuff. Tim Raines, Ricky Henderson, 82 stolen base leaders. Some of these I've just never seen before just because I haven't come across them. This cool Gossage super veteran card. I was unfamiliar with the super veteran series, but it's like players that have just been around forever, as the name suggests. This card I just thought, I don't know who Bill Fahey is, but it's just a beautiful card. The like sort of movement of it I thought was really nice. This is what, 83 Topps maybe? Yeah. Just really, really pretty looking card. All right, let's see what else we got. These 86 All-Star cards. I generally like these Topps All-Star cards. I think they're really nice to look at. And these are like the most extreme nostalgic reaction cards that I have. This is another card that I just thought was very elegant. This Chili Davis, he's like in this pose that mirrors the pose of the logo, and I just thought it's like a really smooth, sweet looking card. Here's another one of these future stars. Mike Harkey looks like absolutely petrified of going to the major leagues. Lou Brock, Whitey Herzog, Pedro Guerrero. These cards I just love. These are the, I can't remember, 76 Topps, I think. I don't know why, but I just do. Like, I love this. They're showing you what a shortstop does, and it says shortstop, which, I don't know, for some reason it works. And I just think the photography is really sort of classic looking. It's not good, but you get these players in these classic poses that I just thought were really fun. Here's 75 strikeout leaders. So I guess I pulled a lot of these out. Rusty Staub, who I've been interested in just because of his sort of biography. I thought he's an interesting guy. Phil Necro, here's another Rusty Staub. Here's the young Bobby V. Here are these all-time records holders cards. Joe Morgan, Tito Landrum, an old, really beat up, but like, I mean, you can see the creases in it. It's insane. Like, I don't know why this always happens to these old Ricky Henderson cards, but I always get them in this kind of shape. So, all right, so let's see what else we got. this guy Ed Lynch is like, I was watching Jabs the other day and he was opening a box of 87 tops, and this is the card that he flagged as being like one of the worst photographs of a baseball player to put on a baseball card, and I tend to completely agree with that. He has somehow simultaneously no chin and three chins. And he just looks sad and grumpy and, like, I don't know, constipated. So I'm going to do at some point. I have a bunch of these that I think are just really hilarious looking. Tom Glavine, Ozzy, love my Ozzies. Then there were these, like, cool, like, this is like the Larry Fritch Cooperstown Museum. So they're like reprints just showing you really cool old cards, which, as someone who has no old cards, you know, I like to look at it. So, oh, and then this was like my favorite. If anyone knows anything about these, I'd be really curious. It says they're like old, like etchings, like reproductions of etchings or some kind of print by O'Connell and Son Inc. They are baseball cards of old players, and there's nothing on the back. But I just think they're really unique, really cool, and they're on really thin paper. This is like the thickness of like a cheap index card, but they're in super good condition, and it's got all these stars. They really pop, and they're really sort of clean and refreshing looking, like almost like they were made like nowadays. But I don't know what to say about them because I don't know anything about O'Connell and Son Inc. So I'd be curious to know if anyone was familiar with those. I won't go through them all. Cecil Fielder. Mark McGwire star stickers. There was a bunch of Mark McGwires, which I'm always happy to find. I've got like a decent sized McGwire collection now, just from people being so into him in the 80s. No idea what this is. Oh, this is one of these war cards. Don't get it, really. Don't get the appeal. More McGwires. Love it. And here's an old, cool Ozzy. This must be like, what, 80? 82. When he's still with the Padres, so I was happy to have that. Okay. George Brett, Raleigh Fingers, Bucky Dent. Home run leaders, Mike Schmidt, Eddie Murray, among others. Gossage and Fingers, the leading firemen. This card is so cool. Ben Ogilvy or Ogilvy. Just super badass. I love the dramatic angle with the bat just basically pointed at the camera lens almost. Really cool Brewers uniform. Love this card. Ben Ogilvy. I don't know if anyone's familiar with him. Let's find out. All right, Red Sox and Tigers averaged 273 career. Okay, not a big home run guy. I also really like this Mark Grace card. I mean, because I think something about the name Mark Grace and his sort of look to the heavens has some nice there's some kind of nice symbolism or parallel there. It's his cup card. It's just a really clean looking, cool card. It's like he's getting some kind of divine signal. Elman Ryan, Roger Clemens, Greg Jeffries, future star. This is another really iconic card in my mind. It's just like all the hope of Greg Jeffries embodied in this card. Jim Abbott. I mean, I'll talk about Jim Abbott more. I think he's one of the best, most interesting players. Bo Jackson, Brady Boggs, Clemens. There's a cool 89 Griffey rookie that I wasn't familiar with, actually. I didn't know that this is a commemorative commemorative rookie, but it's not the sort of typical, Topps, Fleer, Upper Deck, Donruss, Griffey rookies you normally see. Jose Canseco, Carlton Fisk. I thought this was like a really quite dramatic card. There's just a lot of action in this. Compare this to any number of cards where it just shows the players standing there off the baseline. I mean, this is a play at the plate with Carlton Fisk and Cecil Fielder. I can't tell if he's actually trying to run home, but that guy in the background is saying, "Get back to third." Stop. So I don't know if he held up or he kept trying to run home, but it just like generates some really, really exciting feelings. Bonds. This is one of my favorite baseball cards. Steve Avery throwing the ball up, #1 draft pick. Just tossing the ball in midair. He looks so happy, so youthful. And just like so already in control, wearing his like Kennedy, I don't know what that is, a high school presumably, uniform. Just a really, really awesome card. Jim Abbott once again. Steve Avery. Robin Ventura, Dave Cohn, Gary Carter. This was in the '89 Top stuff, which I just generally really like. All these '89 Bowmans. Bo Jackson. I just took out the stars for those. All right, let's see what else. We have this version of this card. Was the only one I saw in there. I'd really be interested to know if anyone knows anything about this. It's just a weird card. National League All-Star Don Clenenden, Pirates first base. It's totally gold. It's like a gold foil with red, and then there's nothing on the back. It just says card number 9. Don't know when it was made. I assume it's an 80s card. Here's a Carl Yastrzemski and Mike Schmidt from the early 80s. Okay, so this is late 70s. It's late 70s, early 80s. All right, so let's see. As you can tell, these are in no particular order. BJ Surhoff, Mike Dunn, Joe McGrane, all these cool record breaker cards of just like pure like player in front of red background. Drake's Cakes, Bob Gibson. This is a Ozzy cutout, score cutout. I'll go through this one pretty quickly because I'm remembering this to be like the sort of standard cards everyone's already familiar with. I love this Reggie Jackson. The light in this photograph is really beautiful. Strawberry. This is like one of the coolest cards I've seen in a while, this Jack Clark. They've really, they could have framed this so his whole body was up here, but they chose to show his entire bat and leave all this negative space at the top, and it really works for some reason. It's just an unusual looking card with the purple, this like kind of plummy purple at the bottom, and then these like kind of random 3 stars. I don't know, the whole thing looks very intentional for some reason, and I think most of these scorecards look totally boring. So this is like a real standout in my mind. See, I have it here too. This is a beautiful, beautiful baseball card. All right, so let's see what else. Raleigh Fingers. These are just some of the old ones that I found, oldish ones, Willie McCovey. All right, so we're almost done here. Ozzie Smith, Tony Gwynn, Valenzuela, Worrell. There's the same guy, Ben Ogilvy. Just looking super happy there. This card I just think is hilarious. I pulled this card from a Fairfield pack. John Henry Johnson with the giant fro. I love this Guerrero card because he's just in this dynamic pose, and there's this Dodgers, this Dodgers logo kind of goes the same direction as the bat. It just looks really nice. Tony Gwynn, Jack Clark, really dramatic stuff. Dennis Eckersley, never had a bad card. Darryl Strawberry, Oral Hershiser, Reggie Jackson. This is like another, it's like you can't go wrong with this guy. Reggie Jackson, Dave Von Olen. Maybe it's Todd Van Poppel's dad. I don't know. Howard Johnson, Cecil Fielder, Mike Paxton. I thought this card was interesting because it looks much older than it actually is. It's like the 70-something tops. 78 tops, but it looks like the sort of finish on the photography looks like it's like from the 50s. Most of the cards don't look like that. Here's a cool strikeout leader Nolan Ryan card. I mean, for every Topps issue, there is the standard Nolan Ryan card, and then like 3 more talking about how he broke a record or he's the leader in strikeouts or something like that. Okay. I just wanted to show you how off-centered this is. Look at that. And if you really want to get a sense of off-centeredness, you have, this is the right one, like a pretty well-centered card. And then this, you can see the next card starting, and then on the back, it's Sal Bando. This isn't Sal Bando. This is Phil Garner. So they don't even have the right back, so it's some kind of crazy error card. I mean, it's like, off-centered is not interesting until it's so off-centered it becomes interesting again. This card is really cool looking. I think this is a badass baseball card. Darryl Porter. He just looks so calm, cool, and collected there. This poor guy is just like staring off into space, utterly confused. Bob Lemon. Here's another player manager cards. Bob Apodaca. I just thought he looked basically just like Paul Simon, with a lot more hair. I don't know if anyone agrees. Sandy Alomar, Stan Musial. Super shortstops. Fernandez, Ripken, and Trammell. Drake's Cakes. Here's some. This is such a cool Upper Deck card, showing Nolan Ryan in 3 parts of his pitch. I don't know why that's in there. These are just, I guess, really old hockey cards that I've never seen before. Super Veteran, Nolan Ryan. Jack Morris. Okay, some football cards. The No-Hit King. This is what I'm talking about. It's like you have the Leaf No-Hit, Leaf Nolan Ryan card, and then you have the Leaf No-Hit King card. I had never seen this Griffey before, and I just thought it was spectacular. If you can't tell, there is a McDonald's logo, so it is a Topps Baseball's Best McDonald's card. Barry Bonds, Cecil Fielder, Kraft singles, and then you're supposed to pull something out of here. I'm not going to do it because I think it looks nice the way it is. Kraft singles, Cecil Fielder, in really good shape. Another Cecil Fielder. Frank Thomas, Baseball's Best. Ricky, Baseball's Best. Bagwell, Baseball's Best. All right. Don't know if I went through these, but you know, you get the idea. The Pete and repeat. What a funny idea. You get the idea. There was so much fun stuff to look at in these cards. I was really satisfied with the purchase. Again, it was $100. Here's a Don Mattingly Cap and Crunch. Hell yes. I still have more stacks, but I won't go through them. There's just so much. I got some more slabs over here, quote unquote slabs, mini slabs. There was this Al Leiter Future Stars, and then I didn't know this, but he had an article in there about how this is actually not Al Leiter. I looked it up. It's true. It's some other guy. It's not like really. It's an uncorrected error, I think, and the card doesn't have any financial value, but I thought it was it's just cool to see how he is thinking about collecting, and this stood out to him as something very important. All right, so these were like the ones that came in top loaders. Reggie Jackson, another Nolan Ryan. How many strikeouts can Nolan Ryan get? Johnny Bench, Randy Rookie, the Tops 85401, and a bunch of these like giant, Donruss big cards. So this video is getting long enough. I'll leave it at that. I really thank you for watching. I might follow up with another video about those Fleer collector's sets. But I hope you enjoyed my walk through my recent Craigslist haul. Thanks for watching.